Electronics are part of our world, expanding by application to open up new opportunities for automotive, healthcare, and many other industries. But today's manufacturing techniques are not sustainable. They are energy hungry and inefficient, expensive, and have limited flexibility. The world is asking us to do better. Introducing PulseForge tools, a new approach to thermal processes like soldering and curing. Design with more flexibility, manufacture with fewer process steps, reduce energy use, and decarbonize the supply chain. Expand your creativity to new levels. Designers are asking for more. They need to reduce form factors, reduce weight to work on wearables and stretchables, opening new market opportunities for consumers across the world, asking us to do better. If you think sustainability and freedom of design are not possible in electronics manufacturing, think again. Think PulseForge.
Welcome to Critical Manufacturing here at IPC Apex Expo. I'm joined by Pedro Oliveira, who's from, I think you're from the Portugal office, I believe.
Exactly, from Porto.
Okay. So, Pedro, we're here to talk today about your factory automation software, which is based on open automation. Can you tell us, for the benefit of our viewers, what open automation is?
Yes, very well. So first of all, I'm glad to have you here, Trevor. Welcome to Critical Manufacturing Experience area. And yes, open automation is it's a concept that basically we are using to explain the customers how they can achieve a full automated or a lights out operations. And basically the open automation is the concept, the factory automation is the solution. So basically at Critical Manufacturing we have defined it and designed a solution, call it factory automation, that basically has the capability to integrate all kind of elements that you can find on the shop floor, like automatic storage warehouse, AGVs, the equipment itself, and even third-party applications like quality solutions or the ERP and so on, and use this integrations capability to collect events that will allow, through the definition of a workflow that basically is the automation that we are putting in place, and these events will trigger a job that will follow this workflow, okay? And we have even some use cases to be presented during the Apex, like for instance the material replenishment or a feeder replenishment on the placement machine. So basically, whenever a placement machine assembles a board, as consumption will happen, this event will trigger automatically a material request to the warehouse, and this feeder will be delivered to the placement machine through AGV, and this is happening today. This is really happening. We have also some other use cases, like for instance, the replacement of the changeover table. So basically, as you can see, the factory automation can support the customers in different stages of the operations, the setup, during the execution and so on, and is always the same solution. And in fact, even if the customers for some reason doesn't want to go fully automated in nowadays, they can even define by their own pace how to implement these workflows, how to automate these operations.
Yeah, they can do it in stages essentially.
Exactly.
So the way you're setting this up is that you can customize, give customized workflow instructions to the AGVs to go and pick up components from the component warehouse, take it back to the kitting area, or if it's not to go to the kitting area, they can go down straight to the machine.
Exactly.
And if it then when it gets to the machine, it has to do a separate operation to remove the old trolley bank,
Exactly.
etc. So all of these are separate instructions that have to be programmed in, but it's very easy using almost a point-and-click system.
It's exactly that the purpose, or at least it was a design principle that we followed. Basically, we are preparing the solution to be to provide these workflows out of the box, and the customer just needs to configure the positions or the fleet managers that they need to use to basically as using the same use case that we have talked about. For instance, to get the feeder to the placement machine. So it will really be a matter of configuration of tables, and so the customer feels autonomous, empowered to use the factory automation by themselves, and even evolve for next lines or add more lines, add new fleet managers, solutions, and so on.
Yeah, it's completely open and flexible. I mean, I think the analogy, the analogy I would use is it's like a CRM system. If you're in a CRM system, you might be designing a customer journey, except the customer journey is an AVG journey.
Exactly. Please.
So then, but a customer journey in a CRM system is usually made up of a series of workflows. So I think I think that makes it very easy for people to understand how you've constructed it.
It's a good analogy. So basically, it's exactly like we do. We define a workflow that might have different elements of the shop floor, and basically, whenever an event is raised, like the consumption of a material or a feeder on the placement machine, it will trigger this workflow. And our ability to speak, if you allow me the expression, with these elements, with the equipment and with the AGVs and so on, gives a leverage to the factory automation to define this workflow, to really put automation in place. So we will automate the process.
So, and I mean, so as you said at the very beginning, I mean, the ultimate outcome from all of this will be to essentially be able to do a lights-out factory almost.
Exactly. And yes, so basically the customers will be able to define their own pace to put this automation in place, and they will have the ability to integrate their own equipment, their own elements, their own fleet managers solutions, and yes, the solution is already made. So basically, it's up to install it. It's up to see if behind the use cases that we have been presenting in the last few months, like Produtronic in Munich, for instance, in November, see if besides these use cases, and there are several of them for SMT, they want to add more use cases, and they will be able to do it. So we will be glad to work with them on these use cases, because they can be also incorporated on the solution as well.
So Pedro, could you program it to bring the production manager a cup of coffee at 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, for instance, it might be a nice way to use the factory automation.
Okay. Now, it's a fascinating system. It's well constructed. I like the idea behind it. It's something that I think most people who are involved in any form of computers could pretty much understand and follow. So congratulations, and thank you for telling us about it today.
It was a pleasure to have you here.